Okay, what is up, everybody? I am going to be talking about the full moon in Taurus, and I thought I would do it a little bit differently this time. I'm going to talk here, and I'm going to show you the chart over here while I draw on it and just go through the aspects that are happening. So this is super exciting because I love to kind of teach astrology and to share not only the current energy that we're moving through, but I like for people to be able to see it and start to understand like what's going on in the sky, see the different aspects that are being made in the planets, etc. So, okay, so here we go. So we have a full moon in Taurus at 19 degrees. So you can see here the moon in Taurus at 19 degrees and the sun in Scorpio at 19 degrees. So that is what makes it a full moon. Let's see. Yeah, we can draw on it. So when the sun and the moon are directly opposing each other, that's what makes it a full moon. So before we have this full moon in Taurus, we have had Mercury cross over the sun. As you can see here, Mercury is retrograde right now. So Mercury is retrograding backwards. It appears in the sky to be that way. So just the day before the full moon, we had Mercury over here, and then it crossed over the sun. So what's going on here is Mercury is retrograde in Scorpio, as we can see. Mercury is the planet of communication and how our mind works. And so it's been going retrograde, reviewing, revisiting, going backwards over, like going back into the past and reviewing these old beliefs, these ways of viewing our lives, maybe old fears, insecurities, that we need to go deep within ourselves, into our psyche, to look at. And so Mercury's, going through this journey. We're all individually going through this journey of going deep within ourselves and looking at our shadow, doing the shadow work. So as Mercury passes over the sun, it's like Mercury is kind of giving this information to the sun, like, okay, this is what I found. These are the, the unconscious blocks and fears and triggers, reactions, responses to things. These are like the old stuff that we've been holding on to that is keeping us stuck in a certain way of being and showing up in the world. And so at the time of this full moon, it's right after Mercury crossed over the sun. And so we have these new awarenesses around ways that we've been blocking ourselves, or, the ways that we self-sabotage or self-destruct. Maybe because this full moon is in Taurus and Scorpio energy, maybe it's like Taurus is very much rules your self-worth and your value. So maybe it's like not believing in yourself, in your value, feeling unsafe, like you're not able to provide for yourself and your own basic needs, like not believing in your gifts. That's the lowest expression of the Taurus energy. And so right before this full moon, again, Mercury bringing these awarenesses and these insights to us so that we can see it more clearly. We can work with the shadow material. We can bring it up to the surface, and we can transmute it. We can transform that energy, and we can see the ways that we've been blocking ourselves, or, self-destructing, self-sabotaging our progress. And so this full moon, to me, there's a lot of reworking around our value, around how we value ourselves and our own like innate wisdom and gifts and ability to show up here in this physical world, because Taurus rules our physical reality. It rules our ability to create and to manifest and to believe in ourselves. It rules our self-worth, the things that we value and that are important to us. And so I think there's been, a lot of reworking around what our values are. That's Scorpio and Taurus energy. Scorpio is very much about like, what are your deepest desires? What do you desire on the deepest level that can that can scare you, you know, when you fully step into that and you fully embody that energy. Like, okay, this is who I am. This is what I'm putting out into the world. I am like strong in my knowing that I have the power to create and to manifest a life around this. And so we're reviewing those fears that are telling us otherwise. And I think a lot goes back into, you know, past lives. Scorpio again is like, yeah, what's buried, what's beneath the surface, stuff that we've been carrying around for a long time. And so it can go back into past lives. It can go back into earlier in this lifetime, just stories that we've picked up, the energy that we've picked up and absorbed from other people around us. Scorpio is a water sign. It's very much, you know, associated with being sensitive to the energy around you, being intuitive, being able to pick up on the like energy, the frequency that other people are putting off, and then maybe storing it in your body and not even realizing that it's there, and in the ways that it's showing up and how it's blocking you. So okay, so at the time of this full moon, we also have, well, we've been having Venus in Sagittarius. You can see here Venus at 13 degrees of Sag. And so Venus at this time is, and it's been moving through Sagittarius, so it's like giving us a renewed sense of optimism and excitement and passion and fire about our lives, about the direction that we're wanting to move into. Sagittarius is the sign that comes after Scorpio, which is, you know, Scorpio is the deep dive into our psyche, and Sagittarius is like the release, the expansion, the seeing things from a new perspective, from a higher perspective, not being so emotionally attached and like weighed down from different things, but being able to see it in a new light. Sagittarius is the most optimistic sign in the zodiac. They're always generally able to find, you know, the silver linings, find the positive in whatever they're moving through. And so I think we have that aspect is taking place. It is making a square to Neptune, as you can see here. It's squaring Neptune, so we may not be exactly sure on, you know, what it's going to look like. We have this renewed sense of optimism and excitement and wanting to adventure and explore into maybe new territories that we haven't necessarily been at before. But there's a little bit of an aspect of like Neptune here, a little bit of an aspect of like a delusion, or just not quite able to see the picture clearly. It could be a little bit foggy or fuzzy on how we're going to go about doing that. But, you know, with squares, we're being asked to overcome, to work through this challenging aspect. And so maybe we're not exactly sure on what it's going to look like. It's not super clear, the picture, but we're feeling our way through, because we do have a positive aspect being made with Neptune. We've got the sun here in Scorpio, and then the moon in Taurus, and that is making a trine to Neptune. The sun is trining Neptune because we've got water, and we've got earth and water. So these energies are very supportive of each other. So we've got the moon, making a positive aspect to Neptune as well. So there is, you know, even though we're not exactly sure of what it's going to look like, or the picture may not be super clear yet, there is an element here with the sun and Neptune supporting each other, the moon and Neptune supporting each other, of like, you know, going deep within ourselves, connecting to source, connecting to God, to the other realms, in really trusting in your intuition and the messages that are coming through to you, and just the feeling, you know, maybe you're not receiving the information in like, it's different for everybody how you receive this information, but water is very much about feeling it in your body. So maybe you just feel called to move in this certain direction. And I feel like we've been we've known this for a long time. We've been feeling this for a long time, of like the steps that we're wanting to take, this new life that we are growing into. And so at the time of this full moon, I think we're really grounding into that energy, right? Because Taurus over here, the full moon in Taurus is an earth sign. It's a grounded energy. It's about stability, just feeling solid and unshakable in who you are. That's the highest expression of the Taurus energy. The lowest expression of the Taurus energy is feeling not safe, feeling not safe, feeling insecure, feeling fearful, like they're unable to provide for themselves and their own basic needs, like they don't trust in themselves and their worth. They don't know their worth or their value. This is again, the lowest expression of the Taurus energy. Taurus rules the throat chakra. So it could show up like not being able to stand up for yourself, to speak up for yourself, to claim your worth, and like, okay, this is me, this is who I am, this is what I value, and just expressing it and putting it out there. So again, the high expression of that energy is to go inward, because Taurus can hold on to things. They can cling on to things outside of themselves, whether it's staying stuck, because it's a fixed energy, right? Taurus and Scorpio are fixed. So it can stay stuck. It can stay holding on to things, holding on to people, to relationships, to a job, to a place of living, to just a mental thought pattern, emotional reactions. It can hold on to anything that is giving them like this sense of stability and security. But as we know, clinging on to things outside of yourself, that's not going to give you the inner stability and the inner security that you're looking for. And so at the time of this full moon, I think we're really being asked to go inward, to connect with the earth, right? Taurus energy is probably the earthiest of the earth signs. To connect with the earth. Maybe it's, walking barefoot, laying on the ground, just like feeling the support from the earth, and going inward and really building that inner stability and that inner security. So you're not just like desperately holding on to things outside of yourself to give you a false sense of security. And we're also looking at, with Taurus, our self-worth and our spiritual gifts and how we go about sharing those gifts. So maybe it looks like a coming home to routines, things that you can do. Taurus is a practical earth energy. So it's like physical, tangible things that we can do on the day-to-day that we're filling up our cup with. We're pouring back into ourselves, connecting with ourselves, and just building up that sense of self-worth and value, and knowing that we have what it takes to manifest, to create the life that we're wanting to live. This is fun doing it with the chart. I hope this is helpful, or kind of gives you, a different sense of what's going on in the sky by being able to see it in this way. So, okay. Yeah. So let's come back to some other aspects happening here. So we also have positive aspects being made with the sun and the moon, this full moon, to the Capricorn energy. The Capricorn energy over here. So we have Saturn at 16 degrees and we've got Pluto at 21 degrees. And again, they're being supported by the sun in Scorpio, earth and water, and the moon in Taurus. So earth and earth energy supporting each other. So yeah, and then we also have the south node here at 9 degrees, which we've been, the south node has been together with Saturn and Pluto throughout most of the year. So the south node representing the past, what we've done in the past, what we've done in past lives, energy that's just easy for us to default back into. And it's not what we're trying to embrace in this lifetime. We're always trying to go in the direction of our north node. It's not like we're going to totally forget the past and what we've been through and who we've been and just like completely burn the south node to the ground, but it's an understanding of where we've come from and a conscious decision to move in the direction of the north node. So back over here with the south node, Saturn and Pluto, it's like at the time of this full moon, we are, and throughout this whole year, we've been reworking so much from the past, the south node, the structures, the beliefs, the mindset, the mentality that we've had in the past. Maybe again, it coming through via society, via family, via friends, via whatever the fuck, how you've been taught that you should live your life, what your life should look like. And maybe limiting beliefs around, why you're not able to do that, or what it needs to look like, maybe being too strict and too rigid with yourself, and not allowing yourself to truly like explore and expand into what is your truth in this lifetime. And so I think this is just, again, like more cleansing and purifying of the past, seeing it in a new light, understanding how we've been operating in the past, maybe based on other people's beliefs, their mindset, their scarcity mindset that we've unconsciously picked up and absorbed and have held on to and embodied like it was our truth, but it's not. And at the time of this full moon, again, we're grounding into what our truth is, what our values are, what we desire on the deepest level. The Scorpio and Taurus energy is very much about transformation, metamorphosis, and it starts on the foundational level. And that's how I view the Taurus energy, and with Taurus representing like earth and harvesting and, like, yeah, the dirt and growing things. So it's like, what are the stories that we've been telling ourselves, these maybe not even really conscious stories, these unconscious beliefs that we've been holding on to and embodying, and how can we let those, like, kind of uproot those, or let those die off and fall to the side and plant something new. Taurus is taking small action oriented steps, like small, practical, tangible steps. Taurus isn't the fastest moving sign in the zodiac, and they can be hard on themselves for that. So celebrating their fixed energy, their stick it to itness of knowing what it is that they want. And sure, it's not going to happen overnight, but they can hold that like vision in their head, as well as the Scorpio energy, and then put these small, like, tangible action oriented steps in place so that they can manifest what they're wanting to build here on this earthly realm, again, with it being the earth energy. So we've got all of that happening. What else do I want to share? I'd like to say that we've got Mars here in Libra, and Mars is the planet of action, how we go about moving forward in life. And Mars is towards the end of its cycle through Libra, and then it's going to be moving into Scorpio like exactly a week after this full moon. And so I think at this time we're still, we're balancing our needs with others. We're trying to kind of, bring everybody along or make it work for everybody, trying to kind of find the common ground. Maybe we're still weighing the options a little bit. And I think when Mars moves into Scorpio a week after this full moon, that it's going to be like, yeah, kind of hitting the ground running with these awarenesses and these insights that happened at the time of the full moon. Because with Mars and Scorpio, it is very very focused, very direct, very like strong in knowing what it wants. Mars loves to be in Scorpio because Scorpio has like laser like vision, and when they set their mind to something, they can almost like obsessively just dive into it and just follow through with it. Again, it's fixed energy. So the ability to stay the course and to really, be direct, and to have those boundaries, and to know the work that you need to do to achieve that goal. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm just making sure that was everything that I have for this full moon. Yeah. Okay. To kind of recap all of this energy, I have hair in my mouth. Um, at the time of this full moon, I feel like we are remembering our power, remembering our worth. We are expressing more. We're clearing up the stuck energy in our throat chakra around what it is that we value, and just knowing our worth, that we have the tools that it takes to build something long lasting, and something that is stable and that's secure, and that can, that we can provide for our basic needs, that we can take care of ourselves, we can manifest the life that we've been wanting to. We just need to we need to embrace the shadow side, the Scorpio energy. We need to embrace the shadow side, and we need to do that work, the deep, like soul, gut wrenching shadow work of going into the depths of ourselves and really like holding space for ourselves and loving ourselves through these reactions and these triggers that can come up when we are moving through stuff that's uncomfortable, when we're challenging old beliefs, when we're, you know, putting ourselves out there in new ways. These old fears, these old stories are going to come up, and they're going to tell you why you can't do something, or why you're not good enough, or why whatever. And so allowing that to come up and to come into your awareness, and then we're consciously rewriting those stories, taking small action-oriented steps each day to build a new foundation for ourselves, to know that we have within us what it takes to really create the life that we've been wanting to create, that we've been maybe too afraid of creating in the past. So yeah, I hope that this supports you at the time of this full moon. There's glare in my glasses. And yeah, I'm always available if you want to do an astrology reading with me. If you'd like to do a tarot reading or a past life regression, I can walk you through what's going on in your chart. I love to use tarot as a tool to just help describe the energy that you're moving through, past life regressions to dive deeper into your unconscious. So you can see the different services that I offer and the write-ups about them on my website at cosmicguidance.online. And yeah, I hope everybody has a beautiful full moon in Taurus. I hope that this supports you, illuminates the unconscious a bit. And yeah, thank you for being here. All right, I'll talk to you soon.